Good morning. This is the first time speaking this morning. I didn't even do a little test, but I've had my honey, got my lemon water. Good morning. What? I'm not that tired. I'm actually pretty pumped, but I just feel a little groggy. It's a weird day, right? Because it's after Christmas. I was off yesterday, but I am working today. So as soon as I'm done with this, I got to get to work. I have stuff I have to do. But nevertheless, we can still have a Blue Gamer Bluecast morning show. With your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. We'll dive into the latest news, talk about what I've been playing, and then how I kind of get deep into gaming discussion. There's some things. It's funny. I'm wearing this little blanket around me to keep my legs warm because it's still cold, even though like it's supposed to get to the 70s this weekend or something. I tell you, I would say it's Texas weather, but I just think that's just how actually weather is. It's strange how what is it where there's that thing where when people will run into each other out in the open or talk, sometimes you just talk weather or on calls. It's like, hey, what's the weather like? But I've realized in most places the weather does change drastically. It's not just Texas because I live here. You hear people be like, well, that's California, that's Colorado, that's Florida. And it's like, oh, I guess it's everywhere. What am I talking about? Well, weather. No, today is, like I said, 2 days after Christmas, December 27th. We're getting near the time where I'm going to have my videos about the game of the year, the graphics of the year, stuff like that, where I'm going to really get into the things in 2024 gaming wise that I really got into. And I think today we might look at what's the most time I've spent in different games. I'm really interested in figuring that out because I want to, when I do the game of the year, kind of figure, does time I play correlate with how much I like a game? Already, I don't necessarily think so, but I think there's nuance to that. Yeah, so I guess to get started, we can look at what I have been playing, or what I played yesterday, which on stream, playing Minecraft. And when I was showing you guys that little Godzilla game mode, that is very interesting. Played some more Backaroo, and that's actually it from what gets logged here. So yeah, from Steam and Windows 10. Yeah, on my PC, I was streaming Minecraft. But also, I've been playing a lot of, and I like that time's on here too. This is the PS3 emulator. I'm still playing a lot of that Godzilla. Last I played it was yesterday at 9:10, and I played for 20 hours. And I think playing a game for 20 hours is a lot. Once you get to that 20-hour mark, I think it means you're committed. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty close to platining that game. What was it? The day before yesterday, maybe I got an evolution part to upgrade something, and I just need to upgrade one more thing. At least I think it's just one more thing. I'm pretty sure it's just one more thing. If it goes up even more, I'm gonna go nuts. I guess I could research that because it's like level 1, level 2, and it's up to level 9. Although the other breath part was only up to level 3, and then you're done. So curious to see what this is gonna be. But anyway, it just requires me to play through. I can either play through where it only takes 3 minutes now, the kaiju battle, where I get a random evolution part, or I can play through the main game, which could take up 20 minutes or more, and just get to the creature I want, or the kaiju I want, get the evolution part, and stop. I need like one more Biolante, and I think 2 more Kiru 3. I think that's what it is, and that does take time. What's even crazier about that is, I think I told you guys that maybe this was yesterday, the day before, the PS4 version of Godzilla, even the PS3, the PS4 version's like over $200. It's insane how it's got like that. And I was looking up that I had put 5 hours into it back when I used to have it on PS4. So if I was to play it, you know what? That's interesting because I bought the Japanese version because I found a listing for $80. $80. I think it's going to have a different trophy set, I believe. So I'd have to restart, which I don't mind. Anyway, I found it on Mercari for $80, the Japanese version. I was like, okay, there's no way this is real. I'm going to take the risk, buyer protection. First, I sent them a message saying, hey, is this still available? I know you don't have any other reviews, but that's cool. This person has 3 listings but no reviews, and that's a red flag. But there's a lot of people that start off with no reviews. So anyway, and the pictures were unique. I didn't see any other listings with the same pictures. They even had a picture of the game playing on TV, which was pretty cool. They didn't answer me, so then I bought it anyway because I take risks like that. And it didn't get shipped. This was like, I don't know, Tuesday, and I was like, Christmas is going on, but no, I got the shipping notice. But I've also heard there's scams where they ship something blank, so when it shows up, it tells Mercari that the item's arrived. So then I have 3 days to check it and release the funds. So I'm hoping it comes in. If it really does, that's going to be an amazing get for $80. Nearly the price of the game when it first came out. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm excited for that to come in. Let's look at some news real quick. Let's do this. We'll look at news in a second. What I wanted to do, I thought it'd be interesting to look at, excuse me, briefly, the games that I played in 2024. And at some point, and I forget when it was, it might have been like February or March, is when I started doing this morning show. Which is really cool because I like part of doing the morning show is kind of a way for me to document because I love gaming as a hobby, but I am not what's the word, propelled to, or there's a better word for that, to make specific YouTube gaming content. I'm more interested in just sharing my experience as is. Just talking games as is, like in my, get it out, So this has helped me do that. And I think part of it is having this exo phase where I can track things. And again, it's not about the achievements or the trophies. That is just a means to an end. That gets me to where then I can track, go back, think, remember the fun times. So the dates we see on here on Exophase, remember, is the last time that game was played. So this doesn't mean that I didn't play for a certain amount of time or etc. But Dead Island 2, I remember playing that. It was either, I think, the end of last year, beginning. Wow, some of those memories I haven't thought about are flooding back of that time period of like the end of last year, beginning of this year. Apple Arcade, I had got that for the first time because I wanted to play the new Sonic, Ninja Turtles, and Castlevania, and the 007 game, which is pretty good. I need to go back to that. And I did plug in my Apple Arcade again recently. The Castlevania game, I wish I could find out how much time I put into that. I wish there was a way. If someone knows on an Apple TV how to do that, because I think I put in, it has to be 20 hours. Probably close to 20 hours at the beginning of this year. But that's not tracked on here. Dead Island 2 doesn't say the time, and I got it on the Epic Store. Dead Island 2 was really fun. I got about halfway through, and I felt like, I got my fill. I would love to go back and beat it. But I felt like I got my fill. And then moving up, this Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I think it's cool, but it's not what I wanted out of a Metroidvania. So, it's Prince of Persia. It's side-scrolling. It has, platforming and traps, which I'm used to in Prince of Persia, but not as a Metroidvania. When I'm doing my exploring, I don't want my exploring to be the enemy. I like the enemies to be the enemy. So a lot of times running around in Prince of Persia, it's Lost Crown. It's like taking the original Prince of Persia formula, but it's less about the exploring and combat of a Metroidvania, more about the exploration and puzzle solving of spike traps, falls, etc., etc. It's really slicing down the specific gameplay elements to kind of get an idea, but that's Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about that. Let's see. Anything else on here? And as I scroll up, I'm going to stop. Okay. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I'm surprised I played as much as I did. 9 hours and 58 minutes. You know what? I played this just because I was trying to get to that builder mode. I don't even think I ever got to that. But to be honest, 9 hours isn't that long compared to what this game can offer. I had fun. I liked that I could play it on, you could see the Series, Xbox One, Windows 10. I could play it on any console. We have a Xbox One upstairs. It's a Series X. Or no, it's an Xbox One X. We have a Series X downstairs and then my Windows 10 computer. I could play them on any one. And the game is not exactly what I wanted, but there was interesting things because it's different than what I normally play. Because it's a very heavy story-based game and it was a turn-based fighting action game. Interesting game. Metroid Dread, 13 hours. You know, I wanted to beat the Metroid game on Switch because I never played, well, because I started it and I was a little disappointed. And again, I find it fascinating that people like or defend this game. And no shade on the developers. The developers, it's not like, and I don't want to be mean, the developers are not Nintendo that made this. Nintendo outsourced to the company that also did the Castlevania 3D and the Lords of Fate, Mirror of Fate, something like that. It's just a basic game. It's a basic Metroid game. And for a Nintendo property, I feel like it needs to have more pedigree. Or I think it has the pedigree to be a lot more substantial in terms of a game that impacts the market. Metroid Dread is a basic game. When people are defending it, it's funny because there's that whole David Jaffe meme, you know, where he couldn't figure out where to shoot the wall to get in, which I agree that is an example of one of those things where it's not intuitive necessarily, but also the environment is very arbitrary to the game. It's just whatever. It's just like, well, it's here because it's built to be like this, so it looks like a maze. The map doesn't look fun. The map isn't fun to go through. It's really a chore. Nothing interesting happens. And I can see where someone could like the game, because if this was not even called Metroid Dread and called like Space Pirate, the game, and someone would be like, hey, this is a pretty good Metroidvania. But coming from Nintendo, it reminds me of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie that just came out. Like, okay, if that was like a low-budget movie that someone came out with, you would be impressed. But for a Disney movie with Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds, that was a poor movie. They're just doing the bare minimum. They really were for that Deadpool Wolverine movie, and that's the exact same thing with Metroid Dread, because Nintendo paid a European contractor developer to make that game. Anyway, just want to get it out of the way because I'm a huge Metroid fan, and that game was weak. Speaking of Metroidvanias, Grim Guardians, which I just bought on Steam the other day. This is the demo. It's Gal Guardians, and that's a cool Metroidvania. It plays like Portrait of Ruin. It's a little tougher. I have to get more into it though. Let's see. And yeah, I played a bit of Final Fantasy, and I didn't think it was bad. I liked the combat. I should probably get back into that. 9-Bit Armies. This one hasn't seen too much love, but this is a good game. This is the original Command & Conquer developers. I played a good amount of time, and I liked it. There's just things to move on to, like playing Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I was doing a lot of Switch stuff at the beginning of the year, and I need to get back more to Kirby. That's a fun game. Kirby in the Forgotten Land. It's a fun game. And then I'm playing Backaroo right now, and they're kind of like the same thing. You know, these little platformers, collectathons. Link's Awakening. I'm going to be honest, the way it played on the Switch just annoyed me. There was a lot of slowdown, a lot of little technical things that I was just focused on that more than the actual game. And then tons when I was testing out doing the retro emulation on the different handhelds. That was a lot of fun, doing a whole bunch of that. Luigi's Mansion 3. Interesting that it's only 43 minutes. I want to say that might have been a replay because it might have been another person's profile originally that I was playing that on. That's something I would like to get back to and be. I like these Nintendo games. I think sometimes I forget that I have a Switch to play on because it's weird. The Switch for me is not as sticky as a PC. You can go on Steam and there's so much you could choose from. Let's see. Okay, Helldivers 2. This is one of the games that might be in my top 5 of the year and game of the year. And I played for 34 hours, and I do think that I've said it before. I think 30 hours is the sweet spot to where I've played enough of a game for sure to know if I like it or not. And if I play over it, it probably means I really, really, really like it. And we're gonna get to another game like that. But I got my fill of Helldivers 2. I think really good game though. All right, some more. Oh, Balatro. So that's a big popular one of this year. I didn't play it since March 17th, and I played 7 hours and 27 minutes. I think 7 hours is a lot for Balatro or Balatro, however you want to say it, just because, no shade, it's a fun game. But it's not a video game for me. It's just like a little card game. It's a card game. It's just a card game. I don't know how to explain it. It's like if you could do it in real life, it's not a video game. Like physically, even with the designs of the cards, I could have cards laid down. I could have other pieces that augment what I'm doing, instructions on what different cards do. But still, incredible experience. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of me testing out emulation. That was a lot of fun. Going back to 32X games. Yeah, I had fun. It was like April 10th. I was just like going through all these older games. Disney Illusion Island. 23 hours. I played a lot of this, but I think my wife played a little more. This is pretty good. This came out, though, I think the year before. And it's a Metroidvania. It's a Mickey Metroidvania. If you're into that, and it's 4-player co-op. It was hard for me because it was just platforming. There wasn't any combat. Let's see, what else? I was surprised how cool the Blade on Game Boy Color is, for sure. And then Circle of the Moon, very funny that I started a run on the emulator, because then I went back to because I had the Advanced Collection and just played through that and beat it. SD Gundam Force. I want to say I was playing this for a review, and I never really got around to doing that, if I'm not mistaken. Because it's just kind of a different game. Cool. Playing X-Men. Yeah, X-Men was big during that time for me because of the X-Men 97. And then Spider-Man 2. I think they came out the year before, right? Yeah, and I guess the last time I played was April 25th. Only 2 hours, or nearly 3 hours. I don't know what it is, but it's just okay. Funny how it says PlayStation PC. Did I play it on PC? But anyway, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get back to it and beat it. Because I beat the original, but that took me time too. It took me a few years to actually, and not because it took a long time, but because I would just get bored of it. The Miles Morales one, though, I think I played through, on Christmas like 2 years ago. I played through straight. You know what? That would have been a good Christmas game to play because you get to go to the house and everything, or the apartment. All right, so we're getting to the main game that might be in my top game of the year when I do the game of the year, because look at this. Dragon's Dogma 2, 66 hours and 28 minutes. I think that's a lot for me. Not total, I mean, there's games I've played longer than that, but just for this single year up until April 27th, and it came out either in March or April. I forget when it came out, maybe February. And I put in that much time. That means I really liked the game, for sure. All right, we're going to scroll up some more. Yeah, we're seeing some more retro stuff. Oh, yeah, playing this Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Very interesting, because I think, I was playing on Xbox, and then I went and got it on PC. It was just random. My son was playing it. I don't know if it was on Game Pass or what, and I was having fun, and I'm not a Dragon Ball Z person or Dragon Ball at all. This was a fun game. I hadn't played it since May, but yeah, I'd have to get back to that. That's weird to see that 13. This could be my son playing it, and then this was me. But I know I played it a little bit on Xbox. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on PC and play it. I just like the combat system, the exploration. It's just there's always a lot to do. I remember sitting down and playing Immortals of Avium because I was trying to find another game to play. Yeah, it was my PS5, I think, hooked up to the TV at the time. I always switch it back and forth from office to TV. And I was just sitting there to play with my wife, and then, or as my wife was sitting there, and it was like it was interesting, but nothing to pull me in. Yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It says 43 hours, but that is, I think, most of the time was last year, the year before. My son and I playing. I love seeing virtual tennis. This was a Christmas game for me. I think I would just remember this playing at my parents' house on Christmas with everybody. Okay, we're gonna work our way back up. Hellblade 2. Wow, I only did 1 hour of that. Okay, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. I wish I would get the time. It's probably in the game. The time I spent playing Harmony of Dissonance, because I played through this game 3 times. It's kind of crazy. I played through it 3 times. And then I even played, the Maxim mode. So 4 times? Crazy how much I played that game this year. It is really crazy to think, and sometimes you forget those games that you played. Okay, V Rising, 37 hours. Again, another game where it got to a point where I was like, okay, I think I'm done. I didn't get to all the Castlevania content, but I got to some of it. Good game. Good game. I don't know if it's in my top 5 because I easily forgot about it, but the time I was playing, I was having fun. And plus, it almost felt like work sometimes. Moving up, Bloodstained, that was mainly last year I played that. Oh, Kitty Big City, that was pretty fun. Well, not even an hour. Area of Sorrow, this is another one I played maybe twice. So many achievements that I could be getting in these games. And then I played them in different ways. There's the emulator that has its own achievements, and then the advanced collection that has its own achievements. And I plan to go back and forth. Asanzo, I remember this. This was actually pretty fun. It's a first-person shooter. I played 40 minutes. It's funny, sometimes you could sit, just do a session of gaming, and just you had fun with that. So here you can see with Elden Ring, I had played 128 hours. That's not even, this is when that DLC came out. I bought the DLC, loaded the game up, and then I was just like, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like going through that. I don't know why. Maybe I'll go back. I have no urge. I thought I did. I thought default I would get Erdtree, love it. But 100, and it could be this. 128 hours, I played my fill of that game. I think that's what it was, going back into the world. I'm like, I don't really feel like spending more time in here. Moving up, anything else interesting? I mean, there will be, because we were starting from the beginning of the year, now we're in the middle of the year. Super Lucky's Tale, wow, that feels like that wasn't that long ago. Where I'll jump back into this game every once in a while, usually once a year, to try to get further through it. Let's see. And then Double Dragon Rise of the Dragons on Xbox, 6 hours. I know I have more on the PC version on Steam. I don't know why I was loading that up, maybe to play with someone. See, oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid. Wish it had the time on here. This was me. I think I was streaming this because I really want to play through the game. I've always started the game and never finished it. I need to go back and do that. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. This was pretty fun, but didn't need that much time to play. A lot of Metal Slug this year, actually. We're gonna get to that. Code Vein. I think it was my first time playing that. That's not bad. That's like an anime Souls game. It came out a few years ago. Okay, here we go. This might be accurate here. Castlevania Requiem, Symphony of the Night, and Rondo of Blood, 34 hours. I don't know how much of that was all this year. It could have been some of last year too, because it's Rondo of Blood I played first to beat that. Then I went through Symphony of the Night, beat that. And yeah, look at the trophies. Like, I'm nearly done. I should go back and finish that. And then here's Portrait of Ruin, another game. Did I play this more than once? I know I played it more than once. Defeat death in both forms of Dracula, get 100% Dracula's Castle map completion, find all upgrades. Yeah. But also, is it showing the Julius mode or whatever it was? Let's see. Yeah, I played 49 minutes of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Pretty fun combat. I played Steam and Epic Store. The combat is pretty fun, but I think since that's all there was to it, I didn't feel like going through it too much. Let's see. Batman Arkham VR. Okay, that's different than the Batman VR. The Arkham VR was okay. This is around the time where I got my VR, so we're going to see some VR games in here. Wanted Dead. My brother told me I needed to play this, and he was right. It took me 5 hours and 40 minutes to beat it. Fun game. Fun game. Let's see. Half-Life Alyx. I played 7 hours of that, and I'm kind of done. It's a neat game. I'm glad for 2024 I finally got to this game, but because I've been meaning to play it forever. Never thought I would have the VR headset anytime soon. And it's fun, but it's just after a while, it's just kind of like, to set up everything and to play it, it's like sometimes it doesn't feel worth it. Phantom Fury, was that the new one? There's Ion Fury and then Phantom Fury, maybe. And strange, I didn't really bother playing much of that. Suicide Squad Kill Justice League, I think it was free on the Epic Store. And then here we go, SNK vs. Capcom, SVC Chaos. 12 hours, 37 minutes. 12 hours doesn't seem like a lot compared to Dragon's Dogma, right? But I feel like the time I had with this game was just as fun. Like, this is a great fighting game. And I beat it with all of the characters, and I got to beat it with all the hidden characters. I'll get to it eventually. Volgar the Viking 2. I didn't play that much. I really like this game, but I don't know if it's because it's difficult and I give up easy. Dead or Alive 6. I think I just played it for some DLC I didn't have that was on sale. Some Metal Slug. Crash Bandicoot. I wish I would play through that sometime. Metal Slug. Yeah, I was playing a lot of Metal Slug during this time, and there's a reason. We'll probably get to that. Oh, I jumped back into Double Dragon on Steam. Yeah, got all the achievements. 18 hours. Most of it was last year. There must have been DLC or something that I loaded it back up for. Oh, Metal Slug 3, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Was I replaying stages on this a lot to get achievements? Yeah, I was going through this, Metal Slug phase. Yeah, because look, Metal Slug 4. Mafia Definitive Edition. Did I really start it up? I do not remember. Bakurua, we'll get to that a little bit. Oh yeah, King of Fighters. I think did I play through and clear the story. I just played through and beat it. That was because I hadn't played this one. Metal Slug 7. Okay. Metal Slug Awakening, 18 hours. This came out in July, and I put 18 hours in it. This is a modern take on Metal Slug, and it's actually really good. I just wish it wasn't bogged down with the resource management system of these free-to-play games. I wish I could... Even if you pay... It's like I don't like that, okay, before I do a mission, I go check this resource, check that resource, get my dailies, get this, because you have to do that in order to then upgrade, so then when you play the next level, you're upgraded for it. And that bogs down the play. I'm spending too much time doing that. Call of Duty. Didn't really play too much Call of Duty this year. Showing 170 hours, and that's over, the Steam Call of Duty app that has the different Call of Duties on there. It's showing Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2. That's probably all added up. Let's see. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Did I finally beat this? I don't know if 7 is the final stage or there's another one, but that was pretty fun. Let's see. And then I got into some Warhammer to prepare for. Oh, and was there Bolt Gun DLC? Because I remember playing Bolt Gun during Christmas last year. That was a lot of fun. And I think the DLC came out this year. So I might have played to do the DLC. Gundam Breaker 4, 20 hours. You know, not as much as it could be. I did everything I really needed to, and it's a fun game. I think mainly because I'm a Gundam fan. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting close. Black Myth Wukong 13. Not a lot of time. I like Black Myth Wukong, but it's kind of the same thing where it's like I kind of get it. I kind of get what's going on. See here, Forza Horizon 5. I think I loaded this up in the VR to test it out. Kill Knight. This seemed cool. It's just another survivor like. And it's funny, my brother got this for me for Christmas. You know, for those that know, this is a horrible game. It's funny. It came out in 2012, and I think it was in arcades, and then they just re-released it on Xbox. So I'm glad I actually got to check it out. 31 minutes. I want to say I only have to beat like one or two more levels. All right. Oh, we're getting to time. I got to get to work, but to finish this up real quick, a lot of demos. So when you see those numbers, that those are demos. Retro Realms, 3 hours. That game just did not hit the mark. Predator Hunting Grounds. That was cool that came back out this year. Well, I guess like the PS5 version and all that. Ooh, the sun is starting to pop out over the clouds. Lots of demos. I love that whole Steam Nexus. Can't wait for the Precinct to come out. Okay, Castlevania Advance Collection. That's what I was talking about while I was playing through Circle of the Moon. It was mainly Circle of the Moon, I guess. 17 hours. But yeah, the Area of Sorrow's on here too, so. And Dracula X. So that was me playing. That's the total. I don't know how long it took for just Circle of the Moon. It's funny that I played a game for 7 minutes, thought it was so cool, I decided to buy it, and only played 18 minutes. Operation Galuga. You know what? This Contra game that came out this year is good. I want to play it more. That is a good game. Castlevania Anniversary Collection. G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra only played 2 hours and 54. That doesn't seem like a lot, but that game just didn't hit the mark, unfortunately. Starship Troopers Extermination, 8 hours. Doesn't seem like as much as it should be. This technically came out today, or this year too, even though it was a, what do you call it, early access? Wow, look at this. Battle Operation 2, 277 hours. Okay, Dominus Collection, 26 hours, nearly 30. It would be well over 30, 40, 50 for me to do everything. That was me playing through Dawn of Sorrow, the arcade game a couple times. Started Portrait of Ruin. It could be a lot more. Yeah, 4 hours of Metal Gear Solid 5. That's a game I need to beat as well. At least I got some time in that. That's right. I totally forgot I was playing a lot of Lament of Innocence, and I just kind of stopped. It's really boring. But, it's 50 hours of Vampire Survivors. Nearly 20, maybe 15 hours of that was just unlocking all of the Castlevania music. Insane. Insane. Anything else neat on here that's worthy of bringing up? Outlaws is a big one. Outlaws, let's see. Let me pull that up. 30 hours and 54 minutes. And Outlaws is in the top. Again, sweet spots around 30 hours. That's in my top game of the year. Outcast. Only played about 4 hours. That's a good game. It came out this year too. I would love to finish that. But I move on fast just because nowadays games are just iterations of what's come before. Whereas when I was younger, and I talked about this yesterday with someone, when I was younger, I'm playing games where these gameplay mechanics are brand new. Indiana Jones, 5 hours, 60 minutes. Will I finish that? I don't know. That does get boring. Oh, yeah, Space Marine, 9 hours. I thought that would be my top 5 game in the year. Probably not. Godzilla PS3, can't believe all the time I put into that. And then, yeah, the games. Sonic X Shadow, 2 hours so far. The Power Rangers, 4 hours. That was more than G.I. Joe. Astrobot, 15. That might be in my top 5. So, well, I got to get going. Wow, I didn't think that would take so much time. I got some news articles, but it's nothing interesting. There's really not interesting news going on right now. So anyway, that's it. That was a little 2024 recap, so that's pretty cool. I'll probably change the title of the video to that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back Monday, so have a good weekend. See y'all later.